Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your hat for the presentation of the national anthem of the United States of America.
Time. Finish.
Go, BZ, go.
Bring up. Bring up.
I got work from you.
Time.
They have players that are clinical that can finish. However, Lancaster has had several opportunities this year to sink goals, and his conversion rate has not been the best. So there are certain areas where Red Bull's defense can find a saving grace. Again, it's going to depend on how well this back four can start to gel, and if the last couple of games have been any indication, we're starting to see that happening.
Bezecourt with a bad turnover. Ownby immediately going back the other way. Wide for Lancaster, looking for the feet of Davis the fourth, and all he finds is Red Bulls 2 and Dom. But Bezecourt with a dangerous turnover there in the center of the field. Now Basulovic goes wide to the feet of Lewis. Lewis, the first-round draft pick for New York Red Bulls this year out of Boston College. Scored the first ever goal here at MSU Soccer Park. New York Red Bulls 2 call this home for the foreseeable future. And this is their first season here on the grounds.
And with Lewis, probably the most memorable draft pick in the first round in recent years, just based on that speech, man. To be good, to have
you got to tell the haters, right?
Yeah, you got to go out there and tell the haters, and that's what he did. He went out there and made his declaration, and so far he's making the most of his minutes.
Another NYCFC connection, Zico Lewis going to the same high school as Jack Harrison, breaking Harrison's high school scoring record.
Ooh.
A dangerous chance here. Laurel comes out and finally makes the play off the head of Bilyeu.
You know, that's the kind of miscommunication you can afford in a match like this. We're not necessarily all that sure who would come into goal if Evan Laurel were to get injured. And with that semi-collision, that could have been a problem.
So a dislocated finger for Rafi Diaz,
That's right.
the expected starting goalkeeper about 20 minutes ago, you could say. So he was originally on the starting lineup. Loro coming in for him, homegrown player for New York Red Bulls, who's had a fantastic season in his first pro year out of Michigan. But without Diaz, we're not quite sure if there is a goalkeeper on the bench right now. We are getting that information.
And you have to be happy for a player like Rafa Diaz, who has truly earned that starting spot this year. Evan Loro, however, is no slouch. Definitely not a drop in quality on that end. So as Red Bull 2 continues, I think that change alone will be rather seamless. Again, it all really depends on how well this defense is going to hold up. And as of right now, all we're really seeing is a battle for the ball at midfield. The game is still has a lot to play out here.
So the wind's starting to blow across this field.
Thank goodness.
Sun beats down on all of us. We do have official confirmation. Rafi Diaz is not on the bench for this game, so there's no backup goalkeeper for New York Red Bulls 2, but it did not count as a substitution to remove him from the starting lineup. So New York Red Bulls 2 with 17 on the roster for today and no backup goalkeeper as Lewis runs into space here. Chased down by Tosh. He's able to get to the end line. The touch just a little too long, and it rolls out right in front of the Rampage.
Tosh and Lewis, those are going to be the names you're going to be hearing a lot today. Tosh is a rock back there for Louisville, and it's going to take the speed and the quality of Zyko Lewis to break that kind of equality down.
This Sean Tosh played 2015 with the record-setting Rochester Rhinos, set the record for shutouts and least amount of goals conceded on their way to the Supporters Shield Championship Cup double. He actually scored a goal, a stoppage time winner against New York Red Bulls 2, his lone goal of the season. Played for Rhinos last year in 2016 as well, 17 starts, and now here with Louisville City. Lancaster in the corner. Finds the feet of Davis the fourth, the early cross, and it's cleared by Najim. Now Lewis on the ball. Kevin O'Toole caught up by Smith, and he gets the foul from Smith. And you talk about this Red Bulls 2 team here in its third year, Dave. And Kevin O'Toole, an academy player still, hasn't gone to college, hasn't decided if he'll go pro or not. And he's already played over 25 professional soccer games, starting over half of them.
I got to tell you, David, we were talking a little bit before the match about the growth of soccer in this country and where players are, the opportunities that they have. We come from a time where MLS teams only had a reserve league. Now you have opportunities in quality competitions like the USL that are there to help out these young players, give them that experience and those opportunities that perhaps they wouldn't have gotten in the past.
Ownby coming forward. Plays the ball out wide right for Smith. One-on-one now with O'Toole. Gets inside. The cross blocked by the young kid. It's cut out right before Allen can get a touch to it.
Louisville is very patient on the ball. They like to hold the ball, keep it down on the ground, and look for their opportunities. And right there you saw a bit of that creep forward into the Red Bull third. It's good work by Louisville. It's going to take some creativity on the Red Bull side to even that out, especially under this heat. You have to wonder how long they'll be able to try to control the ball and press. That's what makes getting that first goal so very important for John Wolenick's men.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Don't forget, SiriusXM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. You can check on USLsoccer.com for those updates. A lot to talk about this week. Real Monarchs tied the record for longest undefeated streak in USL history, and this guy scored in Phoenix. I don't remember his name. But
some unknown, right?
He used to win Champions League trophies and stuff like that.
He did, right?
Yeah.
He's got he's got a brother too.
Yeah, he has a brother.
Right.
Yeah, that's the guy who's famous.
There's exactly.
So Didier Drogba makes his debut. The Phoenix.
Drogba makes his debut. Sean Wright-Phillips connects with him. I mean, it's really tremendous what's going on in Phoenix. One of the more exciting USL markets out there. Again, we were just talking about it. This opportunity, the USL, the way this league has grown, and the amount of teams, the amount of competition, and the amount of quality it has, it's been a fantastic season. And having Drogba and Sean Wright-Phillips, it certainly doesn't help. Doesn't hurt, excuse me. Excuse me.
Part of a new project out in Phoenix, one of the most exciting around the country.
Exciting ownership group, too.
Yeah, Frank Yallop, who was with them, now taking over, looks like in Fresno, for another new USL team.
I like the way you said that, Fresno.
Yeah, well,
Fresno.
there's a lot of flair to my language, Dave. I don't know if you knew that. Offside called on this one.
Don't make me start rolling my R's.
Well, you would have a better chance at doing it well than I would. About 12 minutes into this one so far, Evan Loro. One little dangerous play, otherwise not much action for either goalkeeper. Gregory Ranjitsingh on the Louisville side has been the full-time goalkeeper the last 2 years after his he was the understudy to Goodwin before he decided to go to medical school at Harvard, and therefore giving up his soccer career. Ranjitsingh injured during the first game of the season this year and just returning now 2 weeks ago in U.S. Open Cup action against FC Cincinnati, and then in the last 2 USL games. He's been called up twice for Trinidad and Tobago for World Cup qualifying rosters as Smith comes forward here. Bilyeu makes the tackle.
Great move from Bilyeu. We saw him struggle a bit earlier on a one-on-one, but that was a great clearance there. And you have to imagine that as part of the learning process, shifting from the wings to the center.
Zico Lewis with some cookies there on Sean Tosh, and now Red Bulls going from left to right, moving up the field. Arun Basulovic started every single game in central midfield for this NYRB2 squad. Then next in the line of Academy, Georgetown Products. Alex Muil as well as Brandon Allen coming through that same system. Kyle Zajac and Mason Deeds now still down in Georgetown. Ownby one-on-one, finding a lot of space. Look at a blow by Bilyeu, and Endom's there to close it down.
Ugly, ugly touch there by Ownby. Very ugly. He had the opportunity there to turn Justin around. Unfortunately, did not find that way. So we're seeing, again, this is still early in the match. Two teams just feeling each other out, looking for those openings. But so far, they've been their own worst enemy. There have been great opportunities. Zyko Lewis on one end, you have Ownby on the other. And they're just not finding the final pass or the control on the ball necessary to convert and find goals.
One of the things we do see a lot of early on is a lot of purple in the crowd. Louisville City FC in just their 3rd season, as I said, but the Coopers, their supporters group, one of the most active in the league. Their home Louisville Slugger Stadium, and clearly here on the road as well. Jimenez now at left back, converted attacking midfielder. Played a little bit of time with Tulsa professionally before playing PDL in Mississippi last year. And now in his 10th start for Louisville City.
Louisville is slowly trying to lull this match into a nice, calm state, which is exactly what Wallenick and the boys definitely do not want to fall into. Under this kind of heat, I think the weather is going to be one of the determining factors here. I'm waiting to see that Red Bull press awaken, but as of right now, between the sun and all those purple jerseys, it just hasn't happened.
For Louisville City, as we said, one of the lower scoring teams in the league to start the season. They were one of the last undefeated teams in the league. As the cross comes in from the right side, it's cut away. It was Murad with the clearance. And now it'll go out for a goal kick.
And smart job double teaming Brandon Allen there. Brandon Allen, for all the size in the world that he has, he's, in my opinion, a great finisher. The man put him in the right spot, get the ball at the right spot, and he will be able to put it away. And that is what has made him such a high goal-scoring threat for this Red Bull 2 side.
Brandon Allen, second in goals last year in the USL. Had a slow start to the season, was playing at the MLS level as well as at the USL level. Still question marks maybe over whether he can be a dominant center forward at the MLS level, but he's proven to be one of the best in the USL over the last year and a half now.
No, that's for sure. And you also have to wonder about the way the game has been evolving with quicker, smaller forwards. Brandon Allen comes from a different school. He's more of a target forward, a larger individual, kind of in the mold of a Kenny Cooper at his height. So that kind of a player in today's game, it makes it difficult.
O'Toole flying forward, and he earns a free kick right on the top of the box as the crowd gives him the applause. So a dangerous opportunity now coming. We expect to see Bezecourt and maybe Velo standing over this one. And I have to say, that opportunity started with the ball from Brandon Allen back out of the middle, showing if he drops deep, a little bit of creativity.
That's right. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about that a little bit off camera. Brandon Allen falling back might be the best place for him, and he definitely contributed to that.
Bilyeu with a dangerous left foot, we know, standing over this one, as well as Allen and Bezecourt. It's a full-on meeting here on top of this free kick. Basulovic as well with the right foot. Looks like it's going to be a 5 or 6 man wall for Ranjit Singh. Best look so far of the game. Can New York Red Bulls 2 break this one open? Bezecourt with the left-footed strike, and it's taken easily in the end by Ranjit Singh.
A good opportunity for Red Bull 2. Unfortunately, the shot was just a bit to the center and able to be easily tackled by the goalkeeper.
MSU Soccer Park, the first year as the host of New York Red Bulls 2. It used to be the training ground for New York Red Bulls.
That's right.
For many years. Dave, do you have many good memories of coming out here on random days and covering training with Thierry Henry?
Oh, my goodness. Well, the original field was actually just below this area. And, oh, for sure. I mean, the times that I've seen Thierry Henry go at younger players, at times violently tackle them just to show them a lesson. Great memories here.
O'Toole now, one of the young players for this Red Bull Academy, one of the strongest in Major League Soccer. Allen gets on the end of this ball.
Great pass.
Support here from Velo. Back for O'Toole. O'Toole's got time and space, but no one in the middle with Allen pulled wide. Now trying to work straight down the path, and Basulovic is able to get to it. He plays it for Bezecourt, whose shot is saved.
Huge clearance and great movement by the Red Bull attack there, and that's exactly what you want to see. A lot of interchanging, a lot of slashing runs, and great hold-up play from Brandon Allen. Just a fantastic sequence there.
Basulovic with the final ball here on the top of the box for Bezecourt, who stayed on side and just couldn't find the finish past Ranjit Singh. And Ranjit Singh.
That is very, very impressive. I thought that was Brandon Allen holding off the ball, but no, Basulovic with the ball there, delivering it excellently. Great use of his body, great use of vision, and finding the right pass.
Bezecourt, it looks like, coming back from an offside position, so the flag will go up. First big opportunity, though. Ranjit Singh's made 2 saves in the last 2 minutes as New York Red Bull 2 have started to pour on a little bit of pressure.
Well, they're starting to find their footing, but they haven't been able to challenge him just yet. That one shot was very good, and it certainly forced him into a diving save. But I'm looking for Red Bull 2 to create just a bit more there. And right now what you're going to see is Louisville once again slow down the ball. They're going to slow down the pace of the match, make it more suited towards their own strategy. And that at times with the press can lead to some mistakes and opportunities for the Red Bulls.
David Goss and Dave Martinez here at MSU Soccer Park. 91 degrees and sunny, nothing to complain about for the fans out at this one. A gorgeous Sunday afternoon of soccer for everyone to sit down and bacon, get their tans on a little bit, more like sunburns. But
when you say bacon, my attention just stops right away. I mean, don't say that in front of me.
Dave Martinez, 18 minutes into the game, so he's already hungry.
Oh, my goodness. And on a diet.
But looking great.
Trying.
Louisville, it looks like, going in to that 3-man backline we expect them to play throughout this game. Adding those 2 wingbacks in to the midfield. Ownby gets to the end line. Ball comes in. Touched in the end by Lancaster, and Loro able to clean it up.
Very dangerous moment there. Very, very dangerous. And again, you're going to see this with Justin Bilyeu, who I believe was on the mark there. They're going to focus in. Louisville is going to focus in on Justin Bilyeu this match. They're going to look for their opportunities. And that is where he's going to have to stand tall.
Ownby spent the last 2 years with the Richmond Kickers in his native Richmond, Virginia. Scored 7 goals, had 6 assists combined over the course of 28 starts. He's got 2 goals and an assist so far this year for this Louisville City team, looking for a different challenge. We're told by the Louisville City staff that he's been one of the guiding lights and brightest personalities in the locker room since coming over.
Well, Ownby's a person who has experience at this level. He's actually built quite nicely for this level of play. And you're going to be hearing his name a lot today for sure. He's definitely one of the leaders out there and one of the people who they're going to look to get the ball to Lancaster for some goals.
Already a bright start for him as Allen looks to lay it off, but in a dangerous position. Lewis able to recover.
Great job by Lewis there, playing the defensive side of the ball.
USU 17 international, Evan Lauro with the clearance. And now it looks like Paco Craig dropping deep out of that holding midfield position in that three-man back line for Louisville City. And Gaia Bend and Paulo Del Piccolo, the captain, will both drop deeper to play in those two holding roles. Jamie O'Connor, plenty of flexibility with this roster. Below, able to keep possession for Najim. David Najim, one of two brothers that have played in this Red Bull Academy. Adam Najim now with the Bethlehem Steel and Philadelphia Union setup after his full academy career here in New York. Pasulovic over the top, but it's too long for Bezecourt's run, and Tosh is able to take it.
Pasulovic is certainly one of those players that doesn't necessarily get the plaudits that he deserves. He's played more games and started more matches than any other player on the roster, has been one of the most consistent players at midfield, and has matched wonderfully with Metzger in the middle.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Vasulovic has worked with John Wolenek basically since he was 11 years old. Part of this Red Bull setup, Wolenek, an academy coach, after his, I guess you could call it illustrious, but definitely legendary playing career.
Absolutely.
The New York Metro Stars, Columbus Crew, LA Galaxy, New York Red Bulls. Now Bezecourt gets on the ball, heading into the box, trying to get around that last defender, and Craig's able to clear.
Very, very disciplined in the back line from Louisville so far. They've been able to clog up the middle with two central defenders time after time. The Red Bulls are going to have to look at a different way of going through, because I don't think the long ball into the box is going to be working today.
Cleared out by a Bend. Gaia Bend started the year with a hip injury, but now his 6th start of the season for this Louisville City team. A turnover there in a dangerous area from Vasulovic. George Davis IV trying to go back the other way, and Endom steps in, battled around, and finally goes out for a throw-in for the purple side. Hassan Endom in his first year with New York Red Bulls, playing both with Red Bulls 2 and New York Red Bulls in MLS. A young player out of Africa that I think a lot of people in this setup are really excited about. We've seen already his athleticism, his ability to read the game.
Sure. So far this match, it's been about the defense, and he's certainly one that has stood out just as much as Tosh has on the other side. They're going to be the reliable rocks that you're going to have to get by in order to get goals today. And thus far, they're holding up.
Cut back from set up for Smith, and he curls it in. The opener to Louisville City as they take the lead over New York Red Bulls 2 here on the road. Brian Ownby consistently creating this game, and he's able to set it up for Kyle Smith's first goal of the season, his 2nd of his career.
Red Bull 2 has not had any answers for Ownby on the wing thus far, and once again it's Justin Bilio getting victimized. This is going to be expected as you see his transformation from the fullback side to center back. There are going to be chances, there are going to be times where players are going to take advantage of his inexperience on the spot, and that's what we just saw there. A great team goal from Louisville, and they're up early 1-0.
We can hear the Coopers in the area with their excitement, and we take a hydration break here. This 91-degree weather, and what a perfect time for Louisville City to get this goal. We said one of the lower scoring teams in the league, but one of the best defensive teams in the USL. And that goal now perfectly timing right in the middle of this first half. It forces New York to try and put some more pressure on, which we've said they like to play in transition. This just makes it harder.
This is going to be now all about the Red Bulls press. They're going to have to come at Louisville much more aggressively if they're hoping for a result. The early goal was always going to be important today, David. It was always going to be key to victory. And from what we saw from Louisville just now, they've gotten a key foot forward. And Wolenek's going to have to readjust, push his men, and try to find that equalizer.
And it looked like New York was starting to find more and more opportunities the last 5-6 minutes. The free kick, The big save from Ranjit Singh, which now even looks even bigger.
Right.
Well, you knew it. And now Louisville gets the lead. The 25th minute goal from Kyle Smith. As I said, his first of the season, second of his career.
I mean, look, David, the biggest difference this year to the championship winning side of last season has been on the defensive end. And yes, there have been injuries. There have been players that have been called up to the MLS side. But right now, if they want to repeat, if they want to hold on to that title and make sure that they retain it for another season, they're going to have to do something about that back line and find some answers there as soon as possible. And them, like we've been saying, great on that one side, but there are too many question marks thus far.
We heard when New York Red Bulls 2 got their championship rings from Dennis Hamlet now, sporting director for the New York Red Bulls, say, it's different now. Everyone's coming for you. Can you repeat? It's harder to be a repeat champion. And New York dealing with that mentality as one being gunned for by other teams, but two having to lead, carry the game here this year rather than last year.
Absolutely, and as we said earlier on in the broadcast, the game plan is already known. It's set. It's much like the senior side, where teams have had the ability to sit back, watch the way that they play, and find opportunities within that system. Again, it's going to be up to John Wallenick right now to readjust, push the men forward, and find some conversions on goals.
A free kick coming here for New York, trailing at home to Louisville City FC, coming off 2 straight wins, including a victory on the road against Richmond last week.
And while the roster has been steadying out over the last few matches, the results have been up and down this season for Red Bull. And for this particular match, I think very important that they find some consistency, that they find that equalizing goal and perhaps the victory.
That one goes up over the top. New York, after their 4-3 loss to Ottawa and 2-1 home loss to LA Galaxy 2. They got a 2-1 win against the number 1 team in the league, Charleston Battery, as well as that victory on the road against Richmond. It seemed to be trending up. Louisville trying to change that, though, here and stay in 3rd place. New York just 2 points behind them in 4th place in the standings. So we hit that 1/3 mark on the season. Ownby created that goal. He's created almost every good opportunity so far. And we've seen, as you expected, the opportunity for George Davis IV, Cameron Lancaster, Brian Ownby to just float across those attacking positions and really find the game.
Absolutely. And I think with Ownby, he's playing like a number 10 today. I mean, he's the one that they're getting the ball to. He's distributing. He's finding the lanes. On the other side of the ball, you have to get Bezecourt involved. You have to get a creative midfielder involved that will be able to find those lanes and do exactly what's going on the other side. Like, very interesting thus far to see how effective Louisville has been. Oh!
Jimenez takes that free kick, and Paco Craig over the top, coming forward from the center back position. Craig starting this game at holding midfield as well. Another big chance, though, for Louisville to try and double this lead. New York Red Bulls 2 walking a tightrope right now. So Jimenez with the service. Craig coming forward, just puts it right over the top of that crossbar.
Holy cow, that was very, very close. Once again, the Red Bulls are being caught flat-footed in the back. They need to find some consistency up top, and I think that does begin with Vincent Bezecourt. They have to find him the ball. They have to give him some space. They have to allow him to be the creative midfielder that we've seen in past games and open up this match.
Lewis passing it off the feet of O'Toole. Now New York putting on a little bit of light pressure. Ranjit Singh, the clearance up the line. And a Ben stepping in and puts that ball out of bounds, and a throw in coming to New York. 30 minutes played here at MSU Soccer Park. David Goss and Dave Martinez joining you for this one. A sweltering summer day as we get into the real meat of the USL season. This was the last 2 years, the time when, for New York Red Bulls 2, they went on their big runs. Rocky starts last year and in 2015, and then last year they finished the second half of the season by far the best team in the league. 2 years ago, they made a strong run to get into the playoffs before losing to Rochester, but it seems to be, as you said, off-seasons, turnovers. This is that time when New York Red Bulls 2 so far seem to find their feet every year.
I think that there's a period in the beginning of the USL competition that you're allowed to make mistakes, and we're approaching that time right now where things must solidify. The two-game winning streak has been great, And that's what makes it, again, David, as I said earlier, so important for this side to either find that equalizer or find the victory. You have to start setting the tone now for the playoff run. And though it seems months away, the attitude, the adjustments, and the progression towards a championship needs to begin today.
For Louisville, I said that 4-4 game against Charleston last week. Outside of that, their other 5 games combined, they've only scored 2 goals. 1 victory, 1 draw, and a couple 0-0 ties, a 2-0 loss. So that 1 goal, massive for them to get in the first half. They've had the ability to make that hold up when they've had to so far this season.
As we said earlier, Lancaster and Spencer have had their opportunities to find goal and have simply been unable to convert. And in this match, you're seeing much more of a unified team attack. And perhaps that can mean more goals and more opportunities for their forwards as well.
Pasulovic with the ball across the middle dangerously. Handled well by Del Piccolo. Bilyeu steps into it. Brandon Allen with a arm up there.
You got to be careful with that one.
Lucky that didn't get called. Allen, as we said, Morristown, New Jersey native. From just down the street. A lot of these players from right around this area getting a chance to play professionally for the first time. That's one of the very exciting things about this academy system here in the U.S. A lot of homegrown star players. Tyler Adams, the first ever signing for New York Red Bulls 2, on his way back from South Korea after a big-time performance in the for the USU 20s in the U20 World Cup. A former Red Bull 2 player, a champion last year, and now MLS player with New York Red Bulls.
Unbelievable how much Tyler Adams' game has progressed over the years. Just fantastic. He's one of those players where you look at him on the exterior and say, oh, this young man, small in stature, braces on his mouth. I mean, this kid doesn't seem to intimidate, but we're seeing that no matter what the exterior may tell you, the kid is a baller. He can play. He's physical. He's strong, very intelligent on the ball, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a fullback, stepped into NYRB2 at holding mid. A lot more pressure, and then went out and scored against Chelsea right off the bat, while helping lead this team to the playoffs in their first ever season, and then a championship in both the regular season and postseason in their second ever go-around.
Red Bull 2 undefeated against Chelsea, mind you.
Jose Mourinho just can't figure it out. He doesn't understand the high-press system. Everyone knows that.
Clearly.
NYRB2 will be taking their talents to the Premier League next season. But a big opportunity potentially coming for a lot of these players after this game as we get the switch of the field, fullback to fullback. Smith to Jimenez. Endom stepping forward. Davis the fourth keeps possession in the box. Can't find a teammate.
Now, we've seen a very dynamic Louisville attack today. And again, we're talking about how they've had struggles with their goals. It's very surprising by the way the movement is going in the attack. They're creating opportunities left and right.
Ball comes over the top now for Smith. One-on-one with O'Toole. Cuts it back for Ownby, who created the lone goal of the game. And he's able to earn a corner kick off the feet of Metzger.
As I was saying, they're finding their opportunities. They are. It's just a matter of finding that last goal. So far, they've scored 1. They've converted once. And the Red Bull defense is definitely going to have to solidify, in particular in the middle, if they want to thwart the attack and keep them quiet and find that other goal.
Well, 35 minutes played so far in this first half. Corner kick coming for Louisville. We saw Paco Craig go just over the crossbar on the last set piece. It'll be Jimenez once again to take it, that right-footed service. New York Red Bulls 2, every player back in the box to defend. Jimenez serves it in. Alive at the back of the post. Mistakenly not played by Del Piccolo. And now Basulovic looking to run the break. He can't find Velo's feet. It'll be a throw-in for New York.
You want to see more movement like that from Red Bull. It was a good counterattack there that could have gone somewhere, but excellent defending from the purple.
Metzger strokes the ball from right to left. Up the line now for Lewis, who's got Tosh on him. And Tosh able to do what Bilyeu's not been able to do at times with Ownby. and at least guides it out for a corner kick.
Well, very unfair to compare the two. Tosh has been unbelievable. I think thus far in the match, regardless of the goal, I think that he is your man of the match thus far in the early going. He's been able to thwart just about any Red Bull to attack, and he's been reliable. He's been as reliable as you can be. Very good showing thus far.
So it'll be Bezecourt to take. Vincent Bezecourt on pace with a historic season, 6 assists already. The left-footed service played in, cleared away on the top of the 6. NYRB2 looking for a second bite at it. Out wide to the feet of Bezecourt, who cuts in field. Back for Basulovic, wide again for Velo. Tosh out wide to defend. Velo goes by him. Right-footed service to the back post in front of Endom. Second chance coming, and Lewis's volley goes wide.
That's what you want to see more of. You want to see more of those dangerous crosses. You want to see those kind of cutbacks, losing their defenders one-on-one. Velo needs to see more of the ball and continue to do exactly what we saw right there.
Velo curls it in. He was looking for Endom on the far post. Hit a little bit low for Endom to get ahead to it. And then Zico Lewis following up with that strike off the volley just wide.
The idea was there. The idea was there, and they nearly executed it, and that's what we need to see more of here today.
Louisville City, the 25th minute goal. The lone strike of the game, leading, heading into these final 10 minutes of this first half.
Ndam has just been a bully back there. I'm really liking that kind of defense. Just putting your body out there, wrist to the wind, and being a leader, which is exactly what that back line needs right now.
Metzger gets it to the feet of Lewis.
Very
close. Fine Allen, but free kick coming. Metzger got cleaned out after giving up the ball. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM-FC Channel 85. And don't forget, SiriusXM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for your schedule and listings. New York Red Bulls 2 will be back Friday night here at MSU Soccer Park. It'll be $1 hot dogs. So if you're around and you're free, it's going to be a gorgeous evening once again. Come on out.
Bacon, hot dogs, more things I can't eat. This is fantastic, David. Thank you for bringing me out here.
Bezecourt with the free kick. He goes wide. Davis the fourth with the touch, looking straight for Lancaster, and it'll roll out.
So much goes through Davis the
fourth.
fourth.
Test, by the way.
What is that?
If I put things in front of you and you refuse them, that's the ultimate test.
I don't have that kind of willpower, my friend. Sorry.
Ball goes back to Ranjit Singh. We highlighted Vincent Bezecourt and George Davis IV off the top of our broadcast. Davis IV didn't have the goal. It was Kyle Smith this time. Bezecourt's gotten himself on the ball at times. Maybe not as dominant as we've seen him all season. What have you seen from those two players?
So far, they've been an afterthought compared to players like Ombi. I like what I'm seeing from O'Toole on the Red Bull side. Zico Lewis is finding his footing. Florian Velo as well when he gets the ball. So it's interesting. I was just going to say earlier, it's interesting to see some of the star players that we highlighted just becoming a bit of an afterthought in this match, but there's still plenty of game to go.
And for this Louisville City team, attacking more in numbers than any one player, it seems, to play through, and Ownby's done well.
Oh, excellent team attack. And again, Ownby has been the engine in the middle that's been driving this offense thus far.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Brandon Allen trying to get by the last defender now. He cuts back onto his left foot, looking for some room to strike it. Fakes the pass for a teammate and gets dragged down by Paco Craig on the top of the 18.
How funny, David, is it that we were talking about how Brandon Allen doesn't have the wheels to go, and he just blew by his defender, was able to create some space. If it wasn't for some excellent backing up of the defense there, you would have seen a very good goal-scoring situation, and he draws the foul at the top of the box. Tremendous run from Brandon Allen.
Allen's setting this one up, maybe tired of watching everyone else take these free kicks. We know Bezecourt can hit him. He's already taken one from a similar spot. Basulovic and Bilyu are standing over this one as well. Zico Lewis looking to go make himself a nuisance in the wall. Ranjit Singh will have to defend his goal one more time. We see Bezecourt quarterbacking this whole thing, talking to Bilyeu and Allen. There'll be a free kick coming here. Guido Gonzalez Jr. setting up that wall. Brandon Allen with the left foot, Basulovic with the right. It'll be the leading goal scorer, Allen over the top. Doesn't hit the wall and goes out for a goal kick.
Well, you would expect a little bit more there, but if a man of Brandon Allen's size tells you he wants the ball, you give it to him.
Brandon Allen created that set-piece opportunity and had the opportunity in the end to take it. Left-footed strike always rising. As Ranjit Singh was saved from having to make a save.
That's right. Ranjit Singh, also one of the more fun names to pronounce in the league.
Harry Ranjit Singh out of Trinidad and Tobago, as we said, Ahsoka Warrior. Owenby goes by Endom, looking for Davis the fourth.
Oh.
Davis the fourth slips after the ball was played behind him.
The brilliance of Owenby there is that he loses the ball and he keeps on playing it. He continues to play the ball, and that's something that a lot of the Red Bull players have to look at as well and emulate, Zyko Lewis in particular.
Ball played down the line now for Velo in a foot race. Paco Craig goes to the ground and makes the tackle. He had no choice but to win it there in his own box, and a big-time tackle from Craig.
That was a huge tackle. Just a very well-calculated, excellent slide. No call on the play, and clearly not a clean, very physical tackle there.
So coming into this one, we thought it'd be a 4-1-4-1 formation with Paco Craig playing as the holding midfielder. It's shifted into more of a 3-5-2. And Paco Craig's taking control at the central part of that three-man back line. And he's had some big moments over the last 5, taking down Allen on the top of the box and then cleaning that one up at the feet of Velo.
That's what makes Louisville so dangerous as well. You have 4 people that can definitely play center back, if they 3 at least they can play center back if they need to, and it gives them a little bit of flexibility to change on the tactical end.
And what do you think from Jamie O'Connor of basically putting out a fake formation for 3 minutes just to throw off this young New York Red Bulls 2 team? You
know, he may have got him. He may have got him. The way that this match has been going thus far, the Red Bulls do seem like they have fallen a bit confused to O'Connor's ways. And as this match unfolds, it's going to be up to John Wolynick and the boys to figure out a way to unlock the 3-man back line.
What do you think, Coach Wolynick? He's got about 2 minutes left in this half that he'll be saying to his team in the halftime locker room.
Look, when you're looking at this Louisville side, it's about the wing play. It's about finding.
Bezecourt getting into the box here. He cuts it back for Lewis, but it's behind Lewis's feet.
Literally what I was going to say, you got to find the ball in the middle of the box in front of those defenders and find those opportunities. So I think it's going to be up to at the half. It's going to be up to Bezecourt behind the ball. It's going to be up to Zyko Lewis and Velo to get the balls into the middle, and Brandon Allen to just hammer them home.
The game really opening up here in the second half. Louisville City with a 1-0 lead. Ownby trying to make it 2-goal lead, but Bilyeu with the interception there as these two teams start to go blow for blow. It was New York Red Bulls 2 pouring on some pressure, and then Ownby creating the goal for Kyle Smith, his first of the season. New York's had a couple good looks since then. We saw Lewis with the volley just wide of the post, a big save on Bezecourt, and now Lauro out of his goal, long shot coming, and he's able to make the save.
Justin Bilyeu bit on that ball a little too early and created some space that could have been very dangerous.
Lauro, an emergency start after Rafael Diaz dislocated his finger just minutes before the game in warm-ups. Nothing Lauro could do about the lone goal we've seen for Louisville City. As we'll have a minimum of 2 minutes of extra time here.
Another excellent opportunity for Louisville coming up right on the left side of the box, lining up another dangerous opportunity, and it's going to be up to the Red Bull defenders to stand up.
It'll be Jimenez once again to take. We saw Craig, dangerous look from a similar angle in the gym with the header at the near post. Del Piccolo goes wide, and it goes out for a goal kick for New York. New York Red Bulls 2 on a 2-game winning streak. Back at home for the first time in 2 weeks, trailing Louisville City 1-0. Louisville City sitting in 3rd place. New York Red Bulls 2 right behind them in 4th coming into this game. Louisville City looking for their first ever win against NYRB 2 in their franchise's existence. And Dave, right now, they look to be on their way. A very good first half.
They surely do. It's an excellent first half. They're sticking to their game plan, and they're finding all the right holes behind that Red Bull defense. Again, I'm not sure what Wallenick will be able to tell his players at halftime, but certainly the tactics need to change if they're hoping to make this a game.
It's been Brian Ownby.
This has been the Ownby Show.
Yeah.
Channeling his inner Messi.
Brian Ownby, Richmond, Virginia's Messi, as many have called him.
Oh, absolutely.
Metzger here on the ball. Final few seconds of this first half. As we are already about a minute and a half into these minimum 2 minutes of stoppage time. Tackle made in the box. Bezecourt's got his hands up asking for a call. Endom, acres of space to run into. Passes it straight to the foot of a Louisville defender. And now a little ping pong before it's finally cleared. And that's the end of our first half. 91 degrees and sunny. But it's been a quite eventful and heated game between these two. Dave, we expected a good matchup. I think we've gotten one so far.
Absolutely, and it's funny when you think back to our initial analysis of this match, talking about Louisville being the defensive side and the Red Bulls being all about the attack. We have seen those roles switch throughout this match. It's been the creativity of Brian Ownby leading the Louisville attack, and the Red Bulls trying to find their defensive footing and trying to thwart what can be a very dangerous Louisville City.
New York Red Bulls too have to find the attack at halftime. Coach Wolnick will be talking to his team, especially Vincent Bezecourt. 6 assists, and Brandon Allen 6 goals, leading the team. On the flip side for Louisville City, Coach Jamie O'Connor's side looking for more of the same as Louisville City, one of the best defensive teams in the league, currently sitting on a 1-0 away lead against New York Red Bulls 2. David Goss and Dave Martinez will be back in just a few minutes with all of your first half stats and second half action for New York Red Bulls 2, looking to carry over last year's 2016 USL Eastern Conference Championship victory over Louisville City and make it 6 in a row against Louisville.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. Wide shot saved by Robles. Bradley right for it has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
David Goss here at MSU Soccer Park. An eventful first half between these two teams. Louisville City FC looking for their first ever victory over NYRB2. And let's take a look at the first half highlights between these two teams. It started out with a great opportunity for New York Red Bulls for Louisville City, a save by Loro. Bezecourt, the best look of the first half for New York Red Bulls too, though.
Absolutely. By far the best look and the best build-up in play. And you need to see more of that. We're not seeing, as far as the attack has been going thus far, the Red Bull 2 have been very static. And we have to see more movement, more creativity, and more of the ball at Bezecourt's feet.
Louisville City's been creating a number of opportunities. The goal there, Brian Ownby creating for Kyle Smith, his first goal of the season, second of his soccer career.
Brian Ownby has been the story of the first half thus far. Fearless in attack, has been waltzing his way into the Red Bull 2 third, and he's been a handful for any one of the defenders to take on.
Paco Craig, a great look right over the top of the crossbar. Brandon Allen ran past the Louisville back line, got taken down on the top of the box. Couldn't get his free kick down after going over the wall. Allen, some good looks in this game, but it's been Basulovic and Bezecourt with the best opportunities for New York Red Bulls 2 so far. And we look at these two teams. We talked about the star players, Davis the fourth and Bezecourt, but it's been, maybe you could say, Basulovic and Ownby who have been the two star players.
Basulovic has been excellent. I would like to give O'Toole some credit as well as Nadam, who's been fantastic on the back. But where there are key players that have been contributing, there are others that have fallen perhaps and victimized by Louisville. One included would be Justin Bilyeu, again, adjusting to his position. And you could expect more of that. I think you could expect more of Louisville City continuously focusing in there and finding their opportunities.
Well, the sprinkler is out as the fans go under it to try and beat the heat a little bit. 91 degrees here. Myself and Dave Martinez having no issues at all.
No,
with
not at
that. 56% possession to New York, 44 for Louisville in this one. 3 shots for Louisville, 5 for New York. 2 shots on goal for New York. Just the goal for Louisville. I think it's gone the way Louisville would want in that first half.
It's gone the way Louisville had wanted thus far. And, of course, the heat is going to play a major part and continue to play a major part. As a matter of fact, the heat has turned off my computer. So when you know your electronics are starting to shut off, it is a hot day.
Everyone boiling out here at MSU Soccer Park, but we still got 45 minutes of great action coming up in just a few moments.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready? Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big-time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. What a shot saved by Robles. Bradley right for it has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
David Goss and Dave Martinez at MSU Soccer Park. The second half coming up between New York Red Bulls 2 and Louisville City FC. It's been a good first half between these two teams, battling it out for the 6th time ever, including last year's USL Eastern Conference Championship. NYRB 2, we see off to our left both the Supporters Shield and USL Cup banners for the 2016 season. And for a franchise that's not had that many trophies, that was a big year and that was a big moment for this team. Ali Curtis building this program, this academy system, of course, already in place with this USL team, and it's been a success early on.
Absolutely. For all the talk of the changes at Red Bull over the years, one of the most positive has been their focus on building the youth, the academy, the reserves, and finding a steady stream of talent to feed the senior side. But what we see here as well is a team that's able to not only do that, which is just one small aspect of what this USL side is all about. This team competes. It competes very, very well, as we saw last year. Again, this season has been spotty. It's been streaky. It's been on and off. Right now, the Red Bulls are starting to find their footing, and what I want to see in this second half is a change in their aggression. Right now, as we spoke about earlier, you want to find your footing in the month of June if you're going to make that championship run. The Red Bulls are going to have to do that here in the second half and show something to prove once again that they are, if not the class, one of the class teams in this competition.
One of the other things these players are playing for, a U.S. Open Cup matchup against NYCFC at Red Bull Arena on Wednesday. No MLS this weekend, so you'd figure a lot of MLS players will play. But then Red Bulls at the MLS level go to Philadelphia Union next weekend. So a number of these players could earn some playing time, maybe a first ever game with that Red Bulls team in this midweek.
And what an amazing experience that would be to be debuting or to have the opportunity to play with the senior team for a Hudson River Derby at the U.S. Open Cup for the first time ever between these two professional teams. That is history making. That is yet another motivator in what is a cacophony of motivation this team could have. I don't know. I think this is going to be a very telling second half. There's a lot on the line here, and we're about to get this thing kicked off with some Metallica here, huh?
Dave Martinez not able to give away the rights to his music, so they've had to find some backup options for the rest of this game. As if anyone has not seen, go research the Dave Martinez music career. As we have kicked off here for the second half, Louisville City, a 25th minute goal. Kyle Smith, his first of the season, second of his career off the Brian Ownby assist, his second assist of the year. The lone goal so far. This one played into the path of Ownby. Bilyeu in a foot race, and Ownby is able to touch it off of Bilyeu, touches it out, and it rolls out for a goal kick. And there's a lot of reasons we love this sport and love this league, but Kyle Smith at right back, who's been one of the best players over the last 2 years for Louisville City, tried out for this team in an open tryout 2 years ago, failed when and worked as an accountant in Cincinnati after coming out of Transylvania University, made the team in an open tryout last year, and went on to start 29 games, have 6 assists, replacing Brian Burke, one of the best defenders in the league. It's just a great story.
It's a fantastic story, and the lower divisions, D2 division leagues, USL, filled with amazing stories of hardworking people chasing their dreams, and we're seeing that as well today.
Ownby lets that one roll through, and you look at a player like Mark Anthony Kay, who's not here right now for Louisville City. He's with the Canadian national team. He will dress in the 23. He's on the 23-man roster for their friendly versus Curacao on Tuesday. And Gregory Ranjit Singh, we already said, 2 times called into World Cup qualifiers. Players who have worked hard to stay in the game, getting big opportunities in Louisville City, becoming one of the biggest teams in the country. It'll be Jimenez now with the free kick. He's taken every set piece so far. Right-footed service played in at the near post, headed away by O'Toole. Bezecourt and Del Piccolo. And Bezecourt's able to draw the throw-in off Del Piccolo's foot.
Very well defended by Red Bull 2 there. Again, early minutes here, early seconds of the second half. But we're going to see some more and we have to see more possession from this Red Bull 2 side. That is the key, the core of their press. If they can hold on to the ball just long enough and get it to their creators up top, we can see an equalizer.
So it started as a 4-1 for Louisville City and morphed pretty quickly into more of a 3-5-2, or you could even say a 3-4-3 with Davis the Fourth, Ownby, and Lancaster working along that front line. Now it's Lancaster getting into the box, goes by 2 defenders, pulls up, and the foul will go against Lancaster. New York Red Bulls 2 see 2 players go down in the box. Lucky not to see a penalty kick go against them.
That's right, and it was an ugly collision right now. Both players are still on the ground, and we're waiting the replay to just see exactly where the contact happened.
It looked like Metzger coming back to help his team defensively. as he does as that holding mid, as Lancaster beat the first defender.
Make sure you tune into the USL's weekly show on SiriusXM FC.
And still Metzger is down. Dan Metzger, a Red Bull Academy player, was actually drafted by DC United, but did not come through as a homegrown player after a fantastic college career for him at Maryland. He played for the USU 23 national team as they look to qualify for Rio. He was in the USL Team of the Week a couple times last year. Now has 8 starts this season. And you see the collision there as he comes back. Does what he has to do, though. Helps his team out, comes back, makes the play, and he's able to draw the free kick.
Right call all the way from the referee, but of course, a painful collision.
We've seen Andrew Tenari work in central midfield. David Abador this season, as Sean Davis and Tyler Adams have shifted most of their playing time at the MLS level. Metzger's up. And it looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. An incredible job from him after tearing his ACL in 2015 to return. In 2016, got his first goal of his career against the Wilmington Hammerheads in 2016, right after he returned from injury. Ended up playing 1,800 minutes last year. Partnering for most of the time, Tyler Adams in central midfield on the way to that double for New York Red Bulls too, although did at times partner Speedy Williams. Devin Speedy Williams, who's on the bench for Louisville City and got his ring from Coach Wolnick just before kickoff here at MSU Soccer Park.
Such an important piece to that championship-winning side.
And the Jim will throw it in. He's made that shift from attacking midfield to right back permanent for this New York Red Bull 2 team and has become a mainstay on this back line, as we see Jimenez doing for Louisville on the other side. And now these two match up. Metzger back out on the field, looking very healthy and nimble.
As you would hope.
O'Toole camped out there in the shade on the far side. The luckiest players on the field right now, Kyle Smith and Kevin O'Toole. That one goes through the feet of Allen and rolls straight to Ranjit Singh.
As the second half has started, it's really going the way that Louisville would want it to go once again. They're just slowing down the play, slowing down the pace, and maintaining possession wheresoever they can.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information. Zico Lewis getting into the box. He's able to save that ball. Back for Allen. Brandon Allen with the shot, saved by Ranjit Singh.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see that kind of capitalization on the mistakes of Louisville City, which is exactly what this Red Bull team has always done so well. Great shot from Brandon Allen and a fantastic save.
We saw Lewis put Tosh under some pressure in the first half. As we now hold up this corner kick for a second, Lewis cuts it back for Allen, who had that ball on frame before it was saved by Ranjit Singh. Now the corner kick coming, taken short. Basulovic with the ball, up to the top for O'Toole, looking for the run of Bezecourt. And now Louisville will try and clean up their lines a little, see if New York even gets a bite at this one.
But this is where you want to see New York. You want to see their center back on their half, on the attacking half of the field. You want to see the press coming forward.
O'Toole goes by 2 defenders, trying to hold off a bend, and he's able to earn a corner kick. Ben not happy with that call at all.
They have to pressure this Louisville side. Look, it's getting hotter. The legs are getting more and more tired. And this is where the quick legs and the fast tactics of the Red Bulls have to come into play.
So it'll be Bezecourt to take. Wouldn't expect to see him go short again. So he curls this one in on the top of the box. Bilyeu gets ahead to it. Now Lewis following it up. He's got plenty of space to find a teammate. He cuts back. His shot blocked.
Surprised Lewis didn't go on frame there.
Deflected away, and it'll be a throw in deep for New York in the corner. Zico Lewis active here at the start of this second half. Back for Bilyeu. Metzger trying to work out of pressure. He does. O'Toole clips it in for Velo. Trying to link up with Bezecourt. Now Basulovic closing in. He goes down off the slide tackle. No call made, and Metzger's shot is over the top of everything.
Again, good pressure from Red Bull, too. This is what you want to see. You want to see all the players pushing the attack forward and putting pressure on that Louisville defense. You have to force these turnovers.
The short corners, Dave, are you in favor of it?
Hate it.
You hate the short corner. You're no short corners.
I'm not a short corner guy at this level of the game. I think that you have to create your opportunities, and not so much at this level of the game, but what I'm talking about is at this weather, this kind of heat, you force the mistakes by putting the ball into play. So for today, not a fan of the short corners.
New York taking a little pressure off Louisville, I would agree. Not putting those balls in the box. Lancaster gets behind Bilyeu. His shot just wide of the far post. Bilyeu, another mistake spacing-wise. Lancaster trying to take advantage of that one and just goes a few inches too wide.
But as we've been talking about Bilyeu, on the other side, Lancaster as well. He has a reputation for having these opportunities go wayward, and we saw it there again.
You definitely felt in that first half that Louisville would want to try and take advantage of the part of the game they controlled and make a 2-goal lead. Ownby's behind the team once again. He slots it past Morrow easily, and a 2-0 lead.
Unbelievable. I don't know how Ownby found that space in the middle, but my goodness, he had yards of space right in the middle of that Red Bull box and slots calmly and easily past Lauro, excuse me.
Ownby, a goal and an assist so far in this one, floats in off that wing once again, sets himself up, and a fantastic start to this game. Brian Ownby now 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. Endom nowhere to be seen. Bilyeu acres behind Ownby. That ball comes directly from that back line. New York Red Bulls 2, beaten once again. Louisville takes a 2-0 lead here in the 55th.
Ownby's calm on the ball has been tremendous all day long. He's been able to not only hold on the ball, guard the ball, but calmly slot it and find the right space to find goals for Louisville consistently. And Rebels have had no answer thus far. They have had no answer for him. I would have assumed that he would have been a target for the defense, but thus far he's been given free rein, as we just saw.
Ball played through. Bezecourt tries to put on a little bit of pressure. So a dream start to the first and second half for Louisville. 25th minute goal, 55th minute goal. They're a defensive-based team, we said, and now New York playing into their hands, trying to throw pressure forward. Louisville can keep their lines pretty clean and defend.
And how important is it always for this Red Bull side to get that first goal? It just seems this season in particular that if they're not finding that first goal, if they're not finding their rhythm, they're just finding losses. And right now they're well on their way.
O'Toole pulls down Smith. Smith with the opening goal in this one. Off the assist from Ownby. And now Ownby with his own strike. His 3rd goal of the season. The other 2 have been wonder strikes from distance. And this one a little bit simpler, but a lot of common poise. You see a lot of players panic when they have that much time, that much space. Didn't do too much with it.
And they have a few leaders like that on Louisville. You know, whether you're talking about Tosh in the back line or Ownby up top, you need those calming influences, those veteran leaders that'll be able to calm the waters a little bit, especially in a testy match on the road. And Louisville has done it. They have done it. They followed their veterans. They followed their leaders, and they're up to nothing for it.
Bilyeu trying to bulldoze his way through a couple. He turns it over. Now Jimenez with space to run on the opposite wing. He's got Ownby off of him. Ownby with a mistaken touch, and Endom comes away with possession, trying to lead Velo up the field. A bend closing him down.
Whether it's Metzger or Basulovic, somebody has to take command in the center of the midfield and hold on to that ball and find the distribution. Right now, I think that the Louisville has done a great job of closing down the Red Bull attack. Bezecourt has been an afterthought. It's so far you can see that the Red Bulls are in need of some leadership in the middle.
We mentioned those central midfield pieces from last year, Sean Davis and Tyler Adams, Speedy Williams, that are now gone from this team. Basulovic has played every minute for this team, but just doesn't seem like there is that player who stirs that drink. And Derek Etienne Jr. was a big part of that last year as well. We've seen him perform well over the last few weeks when he's had time with New York Red Bulls too, but not on the roster today.
Well, Derek Etienne is also another type to sit there and hold on to the ball. He's an explosive player. And what this team needs is a general leader who will get physical and hold on to the ball, bring some patience to the match, and unleash that high press. And right now you're not seeing it. You need that possession, and it's not there.
For New York, they've got Junior Flemings, who was the second leading scorer on their team last year on the bench. He's got 4 goals already this season as he started to turn it on, coming back from injury. And Douglas Martinez, the Honduran U20 international, coming back from the U20 World Cup last week, getting a couple minutes against Richmond. Those are 2 attacking options off the bench for New York, 2 speed options who can play in that center forward or that wing attacking position. And as you said, with this heat, 91 degrees afternoon game, you'd expect some of the players like Velo and Lewis, who have to cover more ground, maybe to be substitutions to try and get some fresh legs out there.
Well, we're here in the 60th minute now. Best time in the match to start your first substitution. I think John Wolenek has to be looking at that.
Yeah, it looks like Wolenek just turned around and called to his substitution, who are warming up as Endom helps Lancaster to the ground and then clears the ball out. Jimenez cutting it back. Endom in possession. Velo with a mistake, trying to keep the ball, maybe valuing possession a little too much in his own half. As the "Let's Go Red Bulls" chant comes up, the Rampage back behind the goal on your right, behind Evan Loro with a pride flag in this section. Shout out to the Rampage. And the first year of the official NYRB2 supporter section here at MSU Soccer Park. Come on out Friday night, 7 p.m. for the game against Charlotte. $1 hot dogs for New York Red Bulls, too. Great opportunity to get up close and personal to watch the games. As we said, Tyler Adams is going to be starting at the 2018 World Cup. You could have had the chance to see him first row for nice and cheap. Watch him dominate the game at the USL level, and these players on their way to doing the same.
It's no secret to Red Bull fans what a fantastic program the Red Bull Academy is, and the type of talent it's been able to produce over the years. That alone, being able to see the next generation of Red Bull senior players, that alone makes it worth the ticket.
Matt Miazga called up, put on the 40-man Gold Cup prelim roster after a season at Vitesse on loan from Chelsea. He's a Red Bull Academy player. So it will be Brandon Allen for Junior Flemings. The first substitution of this game. Allen, no goal in this one. He's got 7 goals so far this season to lead the team. And Flemings, as I said, 7 goals last year before he tore his meniscus. 4 goals this season as he's come back, and he's been on a tear over the last 3 weeks.
I like this change. I like it a lot. They need some speed and they need some pressure, and Junior brings both of those qualities. So Brandon Allen, I'm a big fan of his game. This match in particular, where perhaps the sun slows the pace of everybody down. You need some speed. You need some dynamicism in the attack, and I think that Flemings is going to bring that.
It looks like Velo's going to push centrally, and Flemings is going to go out wide right. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. And don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week, so check it out, uslsoccer.com, for the schedule. So Paco Craig, it looks like, is going to be one of the substitutes for Louisville City coming off, as is George Davis IV coming on for them. You can see Speedy Williams against his old team will come on to help hold this lead for this Louisville City team.
Good to have options like that right off the bench, huh?
As we wait for the substitutes to get on the field.
The substitution of Paco Craig is a bit surprising, considering his versatility. But perhaps O'Connor and his men feel that at this point in the match, they can begin to sit back a little bit and let the Red Bulls take the game to them and hold on for what looks to be a fairly secure chance at a victory.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Reynolds, the other substitute, will go in at center back. Maybe this team will shift to a 4 or 5 man back line. Tosh is able to clear it. Speedy Williams, over 35 appearances for New York Red Bulls, 2 on the ball here, pushing that one wide. 1 appearance for the Jamaican national team, played his college soccer here in New Jersey at Robert Morris. Signed in the middle of the 2015 season. Last year, struggled with injuries towards the end of the year, maybe wasn't able to have the full impact he would have liked. Now finding a home in Louisville. The drum out in the Rampage. Starting to make some noise for this crowd. Zico Lewis putting pressure on Tosh. Vasilovic with the touch in midfield. So 3 substitutions in the last few minutes for these 2 teams. Reynolds has gone in at center back. Speedy Williams has gone in central midfield, and Junior Fleming's playing out wide on the right, but will get full freedom from Coach Wolenek to float and find that attack.
Very important opportunity here for the Red Bulls. Not far off of goal. Excellent set-piece chance. And they need it. At this point, with now that we're in the 66th minute, the Red Bulls have to start putting on the pressure and finding their way.
Taken quickly by Bezecourt, still a chance. And Volo heads it straight at Ranjetsingh.
Very cheeky and reminiscent of so many of the senior side.
Sasha Kleshin-esque free kick as the ball's put down and immediately taken by Bezecourt. And it was a wide open header for Volo. As Loro steps out and heads that ball off the bounce. Speedy Williams with the pressure up top. He gets pulled back by Najim. Advantage played, and now a free kick will go, in the first yellow card of the game. Going to David Najim.
A very ugly giveaway there, and Speedy Williams is more than happy to take advantage of that error. It could have led to something far worse. And this is once again where the Red Bull 2 side has to concentrate. That defensive side has continuously been a letdown this match. Lots of mental errors. Again, could it be the heat? Very well could be. But this is a storyline that's been following them this season. That defense has to tighten up.
And you talked about off the top of the broadcast knowing the game plan. Speedy Williams knows the game plan.
Oh, yeah.
For this New York team. He knows they want to play out of the back. That high pressure earns a dangerous free kick. It'll be the captain, Del Piccolo, over this one. Curls it into a dangerous spot. Headed down on that far post and over the top of the crossbar. And once again, Cameron Lancaster can't find the finish.
Absolutely. This has been a trait of his throughout the season. Another great opportunity, and he heads it into the ground.
Lancaster in his 2nd season with Louisville City. Over from London, England, came up through the Tottenham Academy. Played on loan at Dagenham and Redbridge, as well as at Stevenage. As Owenby goes wide for Lancaster. Lancaster goes by Bill Yu easily. Cuts back, tries to find a teammate, Endom with the interception. And now New York will look to clear.
Very, very hungry Louisville City attack. Very hungry, trying to find that ball, trying to find that 3rd goal, which is incredibly impressive. You're comfortably at 2-0 right now, and you're still looking for the 3rd goal. O'Connor has his men riffing.
Zico Lewis with a fancy touch to get around the first defender, but couldn't find a teammate. Volo now playing up top, not much of a traditional center forward. So New York will have to find different ways to break down this attack. Volo out of Rider University here in New Jersey, coming over from France. Ball played into Volo's feet. He's got Flemings in the middle. Flemings went for the cutback. Volo crossed it in right on goal. And Jitsing, as I said, Trinidad and Tobago call up USA, knocked off Trinidad and Tobago Thursday night. We're just hours away from the USA-Mexico showdown in the Azteca. David Martinez, you have a prediction for us?
For some odd reason, I would normally go into this kind of match pessimistic, considering the environment and the type of team the U.S. is playing. But I feel the U.S. can get a result here. There's a lot of momentum going behind the U.S. right now, and of course Christian Pulisic has been fantastic. So I would call it a victory for the U.S. tonight.
You have been
I know.
mesmerized by the Bruce Arena.
Well, I've been mesmerized by the play.
So Douglas Martinez will come on for Velo at center forward. Douglas Martinez scored a goal in his first 5 minutes of his New York Red Bulls 2 career. This his third appearance. And our last substitution, Kevin O'Toole, the left back, coming off. It looks like he'll be replaced by Ethan Cutler. And David Najim will shift from right back to left back. Cutler broke his foot here against Richmond, finished that game, has been in a boot ever since this, his first appearance since that injury at a Colgate University, a second-round draft pick this year.
Very good match from O'Toole today. He was active on both sides of the ball, very good on offense, and very steady on the defense as well.
So a like-for-like change along the back line for New York, and then it looks like Douglas Martinez will go in at center forward. Martinez on this team technically on loan from CD Vida in Honduras, just 19 years old. Cutler with the clearance. Almost landed for the feet of a bend. Soccer Fans Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Flemings goes down and earns the foul. Dave Martinez, how does it feel that your namesake, Douglas Martinez, has made it out on the field?
Listen, if his jersey reads D. Martinez on the back, you know he's going to be great. He's going to be fantastic.
Do you think, without ever watching him play, that he'd be better than Gonzalo Verón or worse than Gonzalo Verón?
See, now you're putting me in a bad spot.
The biggest Argentina fan in this press box right now.
Oh, absolutely. Without question.
Big win against Brazil.
That's right. A big win that I missed because I can't get out of bed. That's a story for another time.
Dave Martinez doesn't really watch games in Australia that often.
No, not that often.
Cutler, that's his second touch since coming off the bench. He was an attacking player in college, being converted to a fullback. This year, he's played all his minutes at right back after being the attacking mid at Colgate University. Put in, Lewis brings it down. And New York get a shot away. Najim looking for Bezecourt, and it's cleared by Del Piccolo. Not a lot of room to operate right now on the top of that Louisville box. And a free kick will go in favor of Louisville here. 72nd minute of play, 2-0 lead. A 25th minute goal from Kyle Smith. A 55th minute goal from Brian Ownby. He's gotten a goal and an assist today. And a water break coming for these two teams. I'll take one myself as well. 91 degrees this afternoon here at MSU Soccer Park in Montclair, New Jersey.
I think at this point, John Wolynick has to take the opportunity to talk to his men and make that final push. We haven't necessarily seen the Red Bull 2 side that we're used to seeing, the possession, the attack. Someone has to step up in the middle, hold that ball down, and be that midfield general, because right now we're not seeing it. They need to have a solid possession to get that press started, and I don't even know if it's going to happen today.
Do you think that he maybe pushes Najim or Cutler into that midfield, try and overload with some numbers, go three at the back at some point? As you said, you have to take a risk.
They're going to have to. I mean, things that we've seen at the senior team level at times, they leave two in the back just to bring everybody up front. At this point, you throw the kitchen sink at them and you hope to find some kind of luck. Even a trickler off of a bounce will be enough to get this side back into the match.
A small breeze blowing across this field from left to right, but not much to cool it down here on June 11th. Summer has definitely started.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been waiting long enough, haven't we?
And it'll be over in about 2 weeks.
Right. Welcome to New York.
But it is hot and hot for now. It's a free kick to Louisville as they were taken down while in transition. Sean Reynolds, who came off the bench just a couple minutes ago at center back, will take it. Reynolds, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, in the University of West Florida. In his third year with this team after playing in Iceland, he met Jamie O'Connor while playing for Orlando City's U23s. Jamie O'Connor coming over from Orlando City as they moved into Major League Soccer in Louisville, got formed. O'Connor, the only coach Louisville City's ever known. Reynolds now pushing up. He's surrounded by Red Bull 2 players. He's still able to get the pass through, and the flag goes up for offside on that far side. Guido Gonzalez, our head official, his assistants Tom Feliz and Zeno Cho. Not much controversy either way so far, Dave. It's a pretty simple game for this officiating crew.
Very simple, no crazy calls. And then again, it hasn't been as aggressive as it started off either. And, of course, the heat has a lot to do with that.
So Douglas Martinez and Junior Flemings, the two attacking substitutions up top. Coach Wolnick hopes can cut this game open. But as you've said, Dave, when this team doesn't score first, they struggle in games. When teams can pack the numbers in behind them.
Well, it's a key part of that high press system. You have to find that first goal, protect that goal, and build on that goal. When you don't have that first goal, you're already finding yourself in a hole, and they haven't been able to dig themselves out. Louisville has been fantastic. Ownby has been a midfield general in the attack, and the Louisville City back line has been outstanding. It's been a very difficult day for Red Bull to possess the ball, to find creativity, and to create opportunities.
New York able to push in the attack. Fleming's losing possession. Will go out for a goal kick. This would be the first ever victory for Louisville City in their franchise's history over New York Red Bulls 2. For Red Bulls 2, they've defeated every single team in the Eastern Conference in USL leading into this year. Obviously not Tampa Bay Rowdies. They've never played them.
Sure.
Now they've lost to Ottawa, except for the Rochester Rhinos. So coming into this year, was the only team they had not beaten. They beat them last year, but it was in penalty kick, so it goes down as a tie. As Ranjit Singh gets warned for time wasting.
We caught a great comment from the from the stands here. Somebody saying that he also Ranjit Singh also needs a warning for the man bun, which as a former man bun user, I totally agree.
Yeah, Dave.
What happened to the man bun, right?
You were a long timer.
I was a long time man bun believer. Then I chopped it off and became serious about life.
Now Dave Martinez is all about picking people up by their bootstraps and working hard.
That's right. Absolutely. Blue collar all the way.
There'll be a throw in here for Louisville. Was a electric start to this game. High energy for these two teams. A number of opportunities for New York in the opening 25 minutes before Ownby cut open that defense and set up Smith to open the scoring. Then a few chances both ways, you could say, to close out that first half before the early goal in the second half by Brian Ownby really set this one up. And New York has struggled to create any opportunities since that goal about 20 minutes ago, now with 15 minutes left to play.
It's been a midfield battle this entire match. Besides those moments where the goals came, it's been a midfield battle between both sides. A lot of the physicality of the early minutes is gone at this point, and you're just seeing two teams that are really fighting not only the opposition, but the heat and trying to find that right pass and that goal to seal this thing. We have about 14, 13 minutes left in the match. Little time to do anything for Red Bull, too. But at this point, it starts, as I've been saying the entire match, starts with possession. Once they find that possession and are able to use their press to their advantage with such, intense, aggressive attackers up top, perhaps they'll be able to find an opportunity. But as to this point, it has not looked like that's going to happen.
Cutler comes wide. Sun starts to set. Back behind your camera. Metzger with the long touch. The mistake falls to Ownby. Most dangerous man on this Louisville team. Motoring down that right side, looking for Lancaster. And Bilyeu slides in, gets a touch, and the save made by Loro.
Good job by Bilyeu there. We've been killing him a lot today with his positioning and some of his decisions, but that was a good slight touch to get the ball into safety.
Vasilovic has tried to be the one to direct this game in midfield for New York. Now Flemings towards the feet of Martinez, who's able to wrestle it back away. Cutler sneaking into space on this far side. Ownby, once again, the one who makes a difference for this team. And now Louisville comes away with possession. The Coopers supporter section just down below us. They've been treated to a show by their team, a 2-0 lead on the road. Trying to make some franchise history with a victory over New York Red Bulls 2. The last substitution of the game coming here. Richard Ballard is coming on for the goal scorer, Brian Ownby. A goal and an assist. That's 3 goals on the year, 2 assists in his first season with Louisville City after playing with the Richmond Kickers. The last 2 years, he gets a standing ovation from his fans.
Man of the match by far. His creativity, his leadership, his ability to stabilize the attack and at the same time be able to find all the right lanes to expose on the Red Bull side. He has been a bane in the Red Bulls' existence, a change that surely will please Wolenek.
Ballard just off the bench now, charging one-on-one with Bilyeu. Tries to get to his left foot, goes down to the ground. A messy play, but New York comes away with possession. No penalty kick given. Soccer fans, Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Exciting news for Brian Ownby, official man of the match for Dave Martinez. He gets a Death Star t-shirt along with some other memorabilia that will be handed out to him after the game.
Whatever t-shirt it'll be, for the people that know me, it'll be definitely in black. The only thing I wear is black, so there you go.
All black everything.
All black earthing.
This one goes off Lewis. Someone was telling me that in Peru you wear colors to express your mood. So if you're wearing black, that means you're in a bad mood. And
for a guy who used to be in a metal band, yes, I must be dark and depressed all day.
Endom not happy with the call. Lancaster running away. Endom now jogging back across midfield. Lancaster one-on-one with Bilyeu. Gets around Bilyeu, goes down to the ground. No call made, and the Jim's able to clear.
Lancaster trying to find that outlet pass, couldn't do it. Great marking there by the Red Bulls.
But Lancaster not giving up on the play frustrates Endom, and he's able to earn his team a breakaway and now a deep throw-in, and Endom frustrated just walking back.
As well he should be with that kind of a run, straight up the gut at goal. It would seem that Louisville were the team that was down 2-0.
Frustrating, I think, performance right now for Coach Wolenek and the ups and downs for this team. We said 2-game winning streak.
That's
they
right.
beat Charleston, the best team in the East. They went on the road at a tough environment in Richmond and got a victory. And now they come home against one of the best teams in the league. But it's been a below-par performance on both sides of the ball.
And, David, it's not about this being a must-win game, but it's certainly one of those matches that sets a tone for a season. Again, as we spoke about earlier, at this time of the year, you want to find your form. You want to find your fitness. You want to know what kind of an offense, what kind of a team you are. And at the moment, the Red Bulls, they certainly have their questions to answer.
For Louisville City, a massive win. If they can see this one out, as we said, to keep themselves up in the standings, but to finally knock off this New York team, as they've had a rocky stretch over the last few, but this would make 2 straight wins for them, 4 straight undefeated. And they sit just behind the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We'll have that tiebreaker over them. Lewis one-on-one down the wing. He gets by the first defender. Now closed in by 2 other defenders looking for the feet of Martinez. Back from Metzger. Metzger goes wide from the gym, pinching forward. Can New York find the opening here? Basulovic charging into the box, and it's pushed wide.
That's the kind of play you want to see from the Red Bulls. Good connecting on the passes there. Short passing game, very well done. It's just that finish that's not finding him.
Quickly taking corner. Basulovic with the cross, the back heel from Flemings, and it's deflected and will go wide. Louisville City scrambling a little bit here, but still able to protect that goal as New York tries, puts the pressure on.
6 minutes left.
They can get a goal here. They can try and pour it on for the tie. Bezecourt with the cross played in. Renjetsing comes out, rising above everyone, and pulls that ball in.
It's probably the best flurry of offense that we've seen from New York thus far. And we need to see more of that if they're hoping to find at least a goal or perhaps an equalizer.
And you talked about veterans that can calm the waters in hectic times. Renjetsing, the go-to starting goalkeeper, a little international experience, rising up in that flurry of chances for New York and calming the game down.
Very intelligently falling to the ground with the ball, wasting as much time as humanly possible. It's a great job of Renjetsing today.
Bezecourt gets by one defender, clips it across the field for Cutler. Cutler brings it in. He's got Jimenez in front of him and Lewis off to his side. Cutler cuts in, left-footed strike, and he curls it just over the crossbar.
That was a very, very brave moment from Cutler. Excellent shot on goal, just high of the net. Very well played.
And Ethan Cutler, as I said, coming back from that injury out of Colgate University. It was the 39th pick in this year's Super Draft. Del Piccolo goes wide. Plenty of space for the substitute Ballard, who plays it down the line. And Lancaster's able to keep it in. He's one-on-one with Endom. Lancaster lifts that ball over everyone perfectly to a teammate. And now Speedy Williams. Louisville trying to keep possession as much as they can and try and waste out this clock here in the sweltering heat, seeing out a 2-0 win. Trying to get this New York team to work as hard as they can. Williams almost with the turnover. Now he gets the ball back. Metzger pokes it away. Lewis looking for the run of Martinez down the side. Murad makes the dive tackle, and he's able to come away with possession.
What a fantastic tackle.
And Jimenez will finally clear. Murad had to get that one perfectly right at full speed. As you saw the galloping Douglas Martinez trying to get by him.
And not the first time we've seen Murad make a dangerous tackle, but very, very clean.
Reynolds pushing into midfield now. Louisville has some numbers going forward here. Ballard, who's been electric off the bench. His pass, a turnover. And now all the way back to Renjetsing. Richard Ballard, the first ever Louisville native to play for this Louisville City team, coming out of Indiana University this year. He started a few of the games early on. He's gotten a goal and an assist, but he was man of the match in the opener versus St. Louis. As this franchise's history continues to develop. Del Piccolo able to handle that one while laying on the ground.
That's why he's the captain.
Cutler clips it over the top. Bezecourt trying to challenge. And Renjetsing once again managing that clock as well as he could as we enter the 87th minute of play here at MSU Soccer Park. David Gost and Dave Martinez alongside you for this one, a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Championship that New York Red Bulls 2 won in penalty kicks. And it's gone the way Louisville would have liked. I think you can say fairly easily. As a bend comes forward. Can't get by Bilyeu. And now New York looking to break. Long touch from Lewis. He gets by Murad. Jimenez coming back, able to slow him up, but he clears it wide for Flemings. And Fleming's touch just has not been there today.
No, it has not, and that was an excellent thought right there by Lewis. Good crossfield pass. Just couldn't connect. And that's been the story of the afternoon.
Louisville has shown some threats here as New York pushes numbers forward. As we have a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time coming up, and Louisville could have put this one dead and in the water.
Very clear, David, at this point that the Red Bulls defense running out of gas, to say the least, and there's not much left to press either. Give it up to Louisville. They have slowed the pace down of the match. They were able to take away any kind of home field advantage from Red Bull 2 today, and now they're going to walk away with 3 points.
Bezecourt coming forward. So about 5 minutes or so for New York. It's going to take a little bit of a miracle, but we've seen this team score more in less time, I think.
That is true.
After last year, when they were plus 40 in goal differential, 61 goals scored for this team. They set the record for goals in the second half as well with 36 goals. That was more than some teams scored the whole season. Hasn't been the same, though, this year, Dave.
No, it hasn't. And a lot of that has to do with their defense.
Not as solid in the back, this team. Had to defend with more numbers this season and play from behind at times. And for Louisville, another great season. They were second in the Eastern Conference 2 years ago, second in the Eastern Conference last year, second in the league, and now sitting third place. It hasn't been as smooth and steady, maybe, as Coach O'Connor would have liked, but another good season right now for Louisville.
Well, it may not be a straight arrow of success, but you have to give Louisville credit and O'Connor credit as well. Louisville is playing with a purpose. They're playing as if this is some sort of a championship match, some sort of a proving ground. They want the ball more. They've been chasing the ball more. They've been chasing goal more. Again, I said it about 15 minutes ago. They're up 2-0, but they're playing as if they're going after the third, fourth, and fifth goal. That's the way the Red Bulls mentality should be, and we haven't seen that today.
A yellow card coming here for Cameron Lancaster for dissent. Second yellow card of the game, one to David in the gym so far. As Cutler will throw it in. Flemings and Martinez haven't really been able to make the difference offensively that New York would have liked. Good to see Ethan Cutler come back from injury. They had Jordan Scarlett, a center back option out of Iona, come back from injury last week and get a couple minutes against Richmond. So New York starting to add to those defensive options. As Dave said, it's been an issue so far this season. Coach Wolyniec looking to tighten that D up. Fleming's floating into some space. Cuts by the first defender. He's got 4 goals so far this season. And his strike goes off the leg of Gaia Bend, the Rishon Litzion in Israel. Fleming's trying to turn up field. And Louisville's just going to sit deep with all their numbers behind the ball. If there's any team in the league you know that could see out a lead, comfortable defensively, it's probably this Louisville City side.
Apparently, it was supposed to be the game plan going in. Didn't quite coat that way.
But a big performance for Louisville on the road as they curl that one in to remain at the top of the Eastern Conference standings. They're about a minute and a half into that minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. For Ranjitsingh, the big save against Bezecourt in the first half when it was 0-0, maybe the moment of the game, alongside Brian Olnby's setup for Kyle Smith.
Can you imagine what a different match this would have been if they had that first goal, which is so important to this side? So Ranjitsingh, yes, he's been a tremendous leader. Louisville has been blessed today with leaders on all sides of the ball, from Olnby to Tosh and to Ranjitsingh.
And Dobrikowski, who came in for Ranjitsingh when he got injured in that first game, played admirably, but you can tell why Ranjitsingh is the go-to starter when healthy. Coming in for Louisville, and that's 3. Richard Ballard off the bench, his second goal of the season. The Louisville native, playing for his hometown team, puts the final nail in the coffin for Louisville City. They're going to get their first ever victory against New York Red Bulls 2 in their franchise's history here at MSU Soccer Park.
And David, an emphatic goal. The last few attacks that we've seen from Louisville have been pressing up top, aggressive, fearless. Look at that run right through the gut, perfect slot, no one marking him at least 5 yards away. It's this has been the story of the match. This is it right here. A tired, unfocused Red Bull defense, losing a marker, allowing a goal. 3-0 Louisville.
And he got into the box so easily. You thought for a second maybe the whistle had gone and you just hadn't heard it. And then he knows exactly what he wants to do with it. He curls it into that far post.
And how many of these runs have we seen today, David? Just straight up the gut, and no one there to cover, no one stepping up. Somebody has to step up as a midfield general for this Red Bull 2 side if they're hoping to retain that USL title.
Louisville will remain ahead of New York in third place. They'll finish this game on 22 points. Their next game, next Saturday, at home against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who they just beat a couple of weeks ago, 1-0 for New York. They'll play the Bethlehem Steel here at MSU Soccer Park, as I said, on Friday night at 7 p.m. before traveling to Ottawa as we have our final kick. A commanding victory by Louisville City FC. Brian Ownby, a goal and an assist. Richard Ballard closing it up. What a performance for Louisville City.
Tremendous performance on the road, and an exclamation point as to where they are in the standings. O'Connor had his men ready for this match. They had the Red Bull 2 side well scouted. They were able to stick to their tactics and their strategies and take this one all 3 points on 3 goals.
Let's take a look at the highlights and see how we got here for Louisville City. No highlights as we wrap this one up for Louisville. They come away from this one basically a perfect performance, and for New York, as you said, a few things they still want to work on.
Absolutely. John Wolynick's going to have to reevaluate the way this team is positioning themselves and talk a little bit about the leadership that's necessary to win these matches, that desire to be ball winners, that desire to hold on and to find the right openings to beat your opponent, as they've done so many times in the past. Wolynick has a major task ahead of him, and we'll see if he'll be able to find the right pieces to make it happen.
Louisville moves to 6-1-4 on the year. New York falls to 5-6-2 on the year. Kyle Smith, the game-winning goal with his first goal of the season. We'll be back with highlights in just a moment.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big-time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. What a shot saved by Robles. Bradley right for it. Has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
A sunny MSU Soccer Park, 91 degrees. The summer has finally hit. And Louisville City, their franchise makes history with their first ever victory over NYRB2 here on the road with a 3-0 win. David Goss and David Martinez joining you for this one. Let's look at how Louisville got it done and Brian Ownby creating throughout this game for his team.
Absolutely. Ownby was spectacular throughout the match for Louisville, the engine that really made that offense click.
New York had a few looks in the first half. Bezecourt, the best of them, saved by Ranjetsingh. Allen creating a few free kick opportunities. And then early in the second half, Ownby really changed the game with this goal, forcing New York to press high.
And it's unbelievable how he was left alone in order to do that, David. It was on the defense there to close him down, and he just waltzed his way right into goal.
Louisville City had a few scares. Velo header right into Ranjetsingh on this one as New York tried to use some set pieces to really break this defense open. We saw 1 or 2 looks late on, but then Richard Ballard, his second goal of the year, closing it out with that one. And for Louisville City, not a very stressful game for them.
No, not at all. And that was a very painful goal to watch at the very end. They're just waltzing right in on that defense and making it 3-0 to end the match.
Well, for everyone here, part of our production, thanks so much for spending the time watching New York Red Bulls 2. We'll be home 7 p.m. here at MSU Soccer Park for Dollar Hot Dog Night against Bethlehem Steel on Friday night. Louisville City going home as well to host the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So go out and see your team play. For myself, David Goss, and Dave Martinez, thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.